Hey, my name's Danny Wilson, aka Motorwitch. We're here at my shop, The Collective, in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. I started working on bikes when I was pretty young. As a kid, my grandfather rode, my dad rode, my mom rode as well. So it's just always been Harley for me. I've really not done anything with any other brands. I decided that I wanted to be supremely good at one thing, not okay at a bunch. So I've invested all of my time and talent into Harley-Davidson specifically. This bike's a 2019 Road King Special. To be honest, the Road King was just the path of least resistance. I didn't have to pull off a fairing, it didn't have a stereo. So starting out with a stock touring platform, obviously they're heavy and wide. They ride really, really well, but I wanted to shave weight and narrow the bike. In the rear of it, deleting the stock saddlebags and all of the covers and all of the things that attach to the rear frame section have been removed so that we're able to mount directly to the frame itself. I ended up cutting the tail section off right behind the strut, making another piece. So behind the saddlebags on this bike is just the tail section of the frame. Wanted a smooth fuel tank, so I ended up getting a fuel tank off of a 2009 Road King and cutting the top of it out where the fuel pump would go, and then cutting the bottom of it out and welding in a Sportster fuel pump mount. After that, the tank got narrowed 2 inches in the front, 1.75 inches in the back to maintain shape, but just be more narrow. So now the top is smooth like an original FXLR would have been with a single side fill. There's no fuel gauge in the tank. The front end on this is kind of strange. The triple trees are a prototype, and it's got a Racetech G6 inverted front fork. In wanting to keep it clean, I didn't want to put a fairing or anything like that on it. We ended up just making like a half-piece nacelle that lays down over the top. The headlight's a Baja Designs LP6 headlight, so they run those in like trophy trucks and off-road applications. And then fabricated out of aluminum, a little Pope hat looking thing that we painted gloss black, so it looks like a windshield. And then behind that, we've maintained the speedometer and all of the indicator lights. So from the rider's position, you can still see the speedo clearly. I'm using a Harley-Davidson P&A speedo with the tack in it. The motor is a 129 cubic inches. It's a leading edge kit. I designed all that leading edge stuff, so it's my cylinders and pistons set up. We're running an S&S 550 gear drive cam in it with an S&S pump and plate. And it's a 4.5-inch stroke S&S flywheel, and the balancing system has been deleted. So by deleting the balancing system, your throttle response gets a lot more snappy because you don't have that balancer to spool up. It's also got an HPI 62mm throttle body, HPI fuel injectors. It's got a Fab 28 2-into-1 pipe. So it runs real good. It's quick, it's very responsive. Throttle response is good. For a clutch, we're running a Recluse torque drive, and I put a Recluse slave cylinder on it so it reduces the clutch effort quite a bit. We did use the newest Screaming Eagle heads with the oversized valves. Those heads work amazingly well. I sell a lot of those heads to customers. They work really, really well. The hand position's good for me anyway. They're 16-inch FXR division split angle T-bars. And the riding position on it's super comfortable, and your body is automatically in a position to maneuver. Foot position has stayed the same. So all of the foot controls are in the stock location, and I'm running Harley-Davidson in-game footboards, brake pedal, shift lever. So all the foot controls are Harley P&A. The brake pedal's right where you need it, shifter set up right where you need it. With this bike, I wanted to keep it to where I could actually get on it and ride it a couple thousand miles and not have to worry the whole time about, you know, is that gonna break? Is that gonna break? Is that gonna fall off? I mean, this bike was really meant to be ridden. It's not an Easter egg.